Good morning, it's 1:45 and we are done. This was my one-day build. I started it on the December the 18th and it's now December the 29th. So my one-day build got a little bit extended, you know, what with things like Christmas and kids and Red Dead 2. So we're finished. And I've had a bit more time to tidy up. But most of all of it got done on the first day. That day specifically. So the build itself, it's exactly the same as the Arcade Pi. It's exactly the same as the flux capacitor inside, and the Janus Pi for you know, except for the dual switching thing. It's exactly the same. It's one of those little Chinese boxes which I have spray painted and mounted acrylic to, and then focus up there they go, and then spray painted. Very, very, very simple design. All of them are based on the same SD image, and all of them work exactly the same. I'm gonna quickly run through what I've done here, then take it to the monitor out the back and flick it on, and then I can just show you the thing running, because it's got its own intro as well. Exactly the same as the flux capacitor, exactly the same as the arcade. Pardon me, the only difference is that this one has got a custom controller, which I had to build. It will do wireless controls and everything else, and it's still got the online capability and rewinds and whatnot. But the only reason I did this is because it was a Christmas present and I was trying to get it done in time for Christmas. So, the box itself, literally blue, cut that, that's a phone case. The white bit is the leftover white case from the arcade box. Standard LED for a drive light, and this is acrylic that I've cut here, phone case that I've cut there. This is electrical tape, this is just printed paper. Down here, this is all phone case. This is a spare bit of acrylic down here, clear acrylic here, two acrylic circles that I've stuck together, sprayed black, and so it looks like it's flying. The reason I need it to look like it's flying, so you can use the USBs, hello, underneath there. Didn't want to screw it onto here. So what I've done is I've mounted it with two, I mean, it looks rough as hell from back here. Basically, these two little notches here are, what do you call them, GPIO connector parts that I've basically just taken, filed them into, or not even filed them, gone at them with a razor blade, so now they're just basically little notches. The switch that I was going to put on top, I didn't want to put them on top in the end because I needed vent holes. So I cut 4 little vent holes and a hole for the wire. See, the wire just comes there and is just glued in. And you've got the SD card access board back there. So what I did is I put a switch on the side here. Let's just focus up. Right. That switch on the side, there you go. Switch on the side there is for the lights. And the top is the runs the script to turn the thing on and off. It does come off of the stand. Again, reason being, I didn't want to attach it to the stand. What I was going to do originally was run a wire down here, and the switch on the side was going to be down here, so you could turn the lights on and off here to restart the thing here. But one, it wouldn't have looked as good because it looks like it's flying, see? And two, you couldn't take it off, it would be permanently attached. Whereas this, you can just literally pull it off, you don't need to unscrew it, put it on a shelf, and then done. For the controller, what I did was I made a stencil for the Doctor Who logo, so that's car paint. Again, the same can of car paint that I've used for all of them. White caps for the controller, so it's like a nice white motif. And just for a little thing, the police box logo on there. This was a tenner on eBay. This is not an original Microsoft controller, obviously. This was a tenner on eBay. This was £1. This was £1. So all in all, custom controller, what's that, 12 quid? Can't say fairer than that. And this is leftover acrylic, leftover acrylic, leftover acrylic. The spray cans are pound shop, so pound for that, pound for that. I think it was like £1 or £2 for the, focus up, £1 or £2 for the blue from a DIY shop, and then just prints and leftover LEDs, leftover switches. So all in all, made real quick, made from essentially scrap. But yeah, I'm super happy with it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to quickly jump cut, go into the other room, start it up, and then you can see. The only thing, you know what, before I go in there, the only thing that I wish I had done was do maybe 1 or 2 more cuts up here because the paint's really thin. As soon as you turn the lights on, you can see the paint holes where it's shining through, the clear acrylic through the paint. The paint, although the colour's pretty good, and the colour is pretty good, it looks pretty spot on, it's awful quality. Like, the car paint from the pound shop's pretty good, but this paint that I got from a different shop is pretty bad. This is like 5 coats on here. I wish I'd done another couple here. Other than that, I'm fairly happy with like my 1-day build. But yeah, that's the only thing I would change. If I had to do it again, I would take more time, make sure all the edges are nicely squared, because that's slightly off. It's not properly square, and I would have spray painted that, maybe given it 1-2 more coats. But there you go. Anyway, I'm going to jump cut there, and then very quickly go through. The reason I'm in here now is because the compressors on this fridge are super loud. So yeah, going to jump cut, have a quick look, and then I'll show you the intro. All right, back in a sec. Okay, so I'm in front of the monitor. Unfortunately, I'm going to be shouting over the sound of these stupidly loud compressors, but hopefully you can hear it. So it's all hooked up to the monitor, and the controller is in. The controller just goes basically under here. Still looks like it's flying though, which is kind of cool. Alright, so what I'm going to do is quickly switch off the lights. Okay, so on the side here, this light looks like the Doctor is in. Ta-da! So there's those 2 lights back there. See what I mean about this? I wish I could have just done maybe like 1 more coat. But yeah, so I'm going to turn that off. Where is it? Down here. And quickly switch it to... Oops. Well, I'll worry about that in a minute. But yeah, as it's on, you can see the light is flashing. So this is essentially the same as the arcade drive light. So every time it accesses the SD card, the light on the top flashes. Now, because I haven't watched Doctor Who for a long time, I didn't know whether this was blue or white. So I had to find out. Apparently, it's white. I always thought it was blue, but there you go. So let's just shut that down, and I'll switch it over to the HDMI once it's quite finished mucking about. Oh dear, right, let's quickly go over here. HDMI. Unfortunately, this monitor likes to go back to default. There you go. Right, let's watch this. Oh, better turn that off. The Pylese box. A stupid name, but I get to name it. So we had the flux capacitor, and now we have the Pylese box. Yeah, I'm quite happy with that. Once it focuses up, there we go. Yeah, I'm quite happy with that. Again, it wasn't a day build, but I got most of it done in the day. And this, along with the flux capacitor and the arcade, yeah, I'm quite happy with how that's turned out. So very quickly, once it's booted, it's exactly the same as the other one. Only difference is that now there's... Oh, right, hang on a second, quick maths. If you played 1 game a day, regardless of whether you finish that game or not, but if you play 1 game every day, it would take you nearly 12 years to play everything on here. And unlike before, now every game has box art. There were some that were missing. The DS, I had a lot of trouble getting the DS games to find. All the arcade stuff, all there. Super Nintendo, Super CD, Scum, it's all there. I mean, it's now the system that I'm most happy with. See, like all the box art, everything in. Found out basically how to do custom box art. So yeah, let's just tap that. There you go, all gone. The Doctor can fly away. Okay, yeah, so that's the Pylese box, all done. Cool. Peace.